hey, you could be pregnant.
Hey, no, it doesn't.
Doesn't work all the time, clearly.
Welcome back to Reasonable or Ridiculous. We have a special guest, which is Megan. And for those who don't know, this woman is the one who didn't know she was pregnant with this little boy right here. That's another video, so go check that out. So we're back to the usual content where I read things out that we found over the internet or we've been sent, and we just tell you our opinions. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Number one. Am I overreacting on my boyfriend's opinion about my unplanned pregnancy? Oh.
Well.
Did you
Come
send me this? So I got sick and got very crybabyish, and he made a joke that I have to do a pregnancy test, and knew that there is no chance as I'm drinking pills. That's what it says. So I said, and what if it was positive also, as a joke? He said, then we go for an abortion, as we talked about it before. We talked about it when we were 3 months together. Now we are together for 1.5 years. We still don't even live together because he's finishing his masters in 4 months, and says that it's all because of money, that he wants to pay for everything, rent, food, and he hates 50-50, and it's possible to live together only after he can afford it, the same with kids. I know it sounds logical, but abortion is not what a woman wants to hear after 1.5 years of a relationship. Am I overreacting or letting a guy to bullshit me? What do you think? We'll start with you.
It's your body, your choice.
Yeah, fair enough. So, what do you think?
So I think with any pregnancy, you have to discuss it with each other and decide what is best for you both. Inevitably, when it comes down to something like an abortion, that is always the woman's choice, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they have the final say on that. Like you can say, all right, yeah, I think you should, but you shouldn't out and out say, go get an abortion. You shouldn't do that. It's wrong. So you should say,
discussed properly.
yeah. So you should be more like, I feel like what's best for our current situation may be an abortion or adoption. Potentially, if they're not ready to deal with that child, that might be the options that they want to look at.
Yeah.
However, for him to out and out say, essentially, you're getting an abortion, wrong.
I don't think anyone's got the right to say you are getting an abortion.
Yeah.
So.
Break up with him. Sounds like a red flag.
Absolutely, to be honest with you. He's being logical. I understand where he's coming from because he wants to be able to afford a kid, because there's a lot of people these days who, I'm sorry, they're just having kids for money.
Or they're just having kids and they can't support.
Yeah, either way, it's...
But if there was a part where she's pregnant and she wanted the kid, there is help there.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're both going to be on their own.
Yeah.
But I get where he's coming from, but...
So it sounds like he wants to focus on setting up a life for long term, whereas...
Which is sensible.
It is sensible, but at the same time...
But it doesn't happen these days. It's the 21st century.
At the same time, you can still set up that life, providing you use the help that's available to you and you can continue to go on. I feel like he's being a little bit controlling in some regards, though. From what I'm hearing is like he wants to pay for everything and he wants her to do nothing. As sweet as that sounds, that leaves her in a very difficult position financially, because if he just turns around and goes, right, well, you're not getting a penny.
It also puts her in a very vulnerable position as well, and I don't agree with it. I think if you want someone to have an abortion, there's ways to go about it. You sit and have a discussion. All right, so we all agree that we don't think she's overreacting?
No, I don't think she's overreacting. I think she's spot on.
Something else I think we might all agree on the next one. Am I overreacting for resenting my partner for leaving me alone for pregnancy loss surgery? So me and my partner miscarried our first pregnancy at just over 9 weeks. He was at hospital with me in the morning, then had to go to work and couldn't stay with me until the surgery, or even pick me up from it.
Delete him, block him, get rid of him.
Absolutely. I was utterly heartbroken by the loss, and I begged him to stay with me, but he said work needs him. And in brackets she went, they didn't. I work at the same place, so I know they would have managed without him. Waking up without my baby inside me anymore, and then not seeing my partner until midnight really sucked. When I bring it up, he just brings up excuses that he was needed at work, but he has been there for me other times.
The other times, delete, block, get him out your life, never see that little rat again. Ew.
I can always count on you for an honest opinion.
That is...
I mean, I have to agree. I mean, I know you've experienced something along similar lines.
Yes, but you was there by my side. You would not leave my side.
I
Because that's
wasn't-
what you need. You need your
You need
support.
that,
I mean, I
yeah.
wasn't
It's
referring to me per se. You went through it with a different person, and they
Ah.
left you alone.
Yeah, okay, I thought
And-
you were talking about me and you.
No, me and you, I did what I deemed was the right thing, which was stood by you every
Yes,
step
but
of the
the
way.
other
and I was like,
person, I was there alone, from start to finish.
and you
And
said that was extremely difficult.
it was because it's like you're dealing with that hospital environment, and then you're going through all of that on your own. You're nervous, and I have health anxiety, so going through having to be put to sleep,
Mhm.
and I have no one was just
I mean, for me, if that was me, if I was in his shoes, for instance, I would say to work, right, I can't be in work today. You can put it down as a sick day. You can put it down as a holiday. I don't care. I'm not coming in today.
yeah,
If you can't accept that, then fire me
yeah,
because I need to be there for my partner. And no job is more important than
Health.
clearly somebody you planned on having a child with. This obviously seems like it was something that was going to happen. They obviously, because it was a miscarriage, it was an unexpected loss.
yeah,
So obviously they're fairly serious,
yeah.
you know.
Get rid. Just get rid.
Yeah, I think if he can't be there for her physically and emotionally, and he deems work more important than that particular moment in time, then I don't think she should be with him.
Yeah, well, neither do I.
No.
I mean, again, there might be a level of, from his point of view, is he didn't want to be around that because it might have been too difficult for
Oh
him.
well, boo bloody who?
But at that point, you put your
That's where
feelings
you
to one
come
side.
together.
Exactly.
And then because you both can support each other. Again, it's hard for a guy, but it's hard for a girl as well. So that's why you need each other.
I think it's a lot harder for a woman because she's the one going through that.
And it's
I mean,
painful.
As I say, I've been there with you when you've been through it, and it's a horrible situation.
Because I've had
Yeah.
both procedures. I've had it asleep and awake. I had 2 procedures while I was awake. If you remember, the first time was excruciating. But yeah, so I had both procedures. I had 2 awake. The first one was excruciating, wasn't it? And I ended up having a PTSD episode from the gas and air. But then the second time I had it, it wasn't as traumatic. So I strongly believe it's who you get. But anyway, the point being, you was there for you both, and I don't think there's an excuse under the sun.
Yeah, when you're left alone with your own thoughts, and aren't you?
It's
and like you're like,
dangerous
is it
place.
my fault? Is this like and stuff like that? And you're bleeding like.
Yeah, no, go find someone who cares.
Yeah, it was a horrible situation, and I wouldn't wish anybody to go through that alone. You know, I
No.
think at that point you really need the support of your partner.
Mm.
Yeah, so block, delete, get rid.
Yep,
Throw stuff outside.
I absolutely agree. Right. Am I overreacting? My mother-in-law announced my pregnancy.
What?
My husband and I just found out we're pregnant with our first child, and we're very excited. We are still fairly early, but wanted to let our close family members know the exciting news. I went out, had t-shirts made, and had a big plan on how I wanted to announce this to everyone. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law threw a birthday party for their oldest kid, so we drove into town, planned on telling them and his parents after the party was over. We live 4 hours away, so we don't often make the trip down. But I did not want to take my niece's birthday party. She didn't want to make it about her. Therefore, we did not want to make my niece's birthday party about me, and therefore, whilst we were waiting, it's why we were waiting. Fucking hell, this editing's going to be hard for me this week. Why we were waiting until after the birthday party, while my husband and I also currently building our first home, and we're staying in a very large, nice camper van in the meantime while it's being finished. My mother-in-law knows we have been trying for a baby for quite some time, and while we were at the party, she made a snarky comment saying, "You better not get pregnant before your house is done. You cannot have a camper baby." This immediately pissed me off, and I must have made a shut the face to my husband, which my mother-in-law
I feel like I just did that face.
She immediately jumps in front of me and screams loud enough for the 40 people that are there, including several people that I went to high school with, who I no longer speak to or associate with, "You're pregnant." This sent me into a complete shock, and I immediately froze. We are still so early on, and I did not want anyone other than immediate family to know until at least our second trimester. I immediately shut down, with moving and transitioning from working in the office to working from home, and the pregnancy on top of that, which we tried for and are so happy about. It's a lot of change at once, and I feel pretty out of control with how it's all happening. This is the one thing I had that was mine to choose how I wanted to share, and she completely took that from me. It's been a couple of days, and I'm still not over it. I'm ashamed that she made a 5-year-old's birthday party about me and want to completely isolate myself from that side of the family now.
Right, so do what you do. When the baby's born, every time the baby fills his nappy up with shit, drop it off her house. That is what I would do. Post
Petty
it for
much.
yeah. She just ruined the way she wanted to announce her pregnancy. She's gonna have to pay for it. So have a shitty nappy.
Yeah.
And don't even speak to her again.
No, I wouldn't speak to her again. Like, what
She's
right has she
not invited to
got?
the birthday parties, christening if you're getting christened. Not
Yeah.
invited to anything.
Yeah. Fair enough. What about you?
I mean, I think if you're gonna, if anybody has any big announcement to make, it should always be up to them people to make that announcement, not somebody else. So when we got engaged, for
If I were
instance-
like, oh my god, Matt and Kaylee are engaged before you announced it.
Yeah.
Like,
I would drop you.
exactly.
and that's
You
exactly my
don't do
point.
it.
Like when you have big information, something that you want to share with people in a nice way. Like we end up having a full-on engagement party that we got everyone. Now a lot of people at that point already knew we were engaged because we'd had announced it to many of our family
Yeah.
and friends.
Yeah.
But it was nice to be able to do that on our own terms, and we didn't do it at a kid's birthday party. You know,
No.
where we draw the attention away from the event that's happening.
Yeah.
And I feel like
And
she is justified.
It's like, obviously we've had a lot of pregnancy loss in the time we've been together, and you know, we said we weren't actively trying, but we're not doing anything to stop it. Can you imagine if that actually happened and you knew how excited I was, and then your mum or my mum put an announcement out there saying I was pregnant?
Yeah, I think
That'd be just
to be fair, I think
got in that.
we would both be very annoyed at that.
Yeah,
But
they never would, because
What I
they're
want to
not
know
like
is
that.
how's the husband's reaction to his mum?
Yeah,
saying
you
this?
don't really say though, do you? Does she?
I can imagine
He's not happy about it.
yeah.
Right, so then block and delete her out of your life. Bye.
You really like this block and delete method, huh?
Yeah,
Right.
it works.
Fair enough.
But no, I
Fair
think
enough.
she's being absolutely reasonable to want to distance herself from that half of the family. If truth be told, I think
Yeah.
probably the smartest thing she can do when she's feeling the feelings she's feeling, the strong feelings she's feeling. She needs to
Yeah.
just stay away, because if you do go back, you're going to say something that you can't necessarily recover from.
Yeah.
So let the water settle before making
Yes.
any comments or having a discussion about it and being like, look, I really don't appreciate what you did.
Yeah. But I don't think you're overreacting.
No, I don't think so.
Right, so this one needs a little bit more. Oh, what's the word?
Oh, this makes me a bit nervous.
It's a sensitive subject, this one. Not for me, but for this person. So, am I overreacting for worrying that my son is too curious about my periods and pregnancy? So, I'm 41 female, a mom to a 10-year-old boy. Over the last 2 months, my son has been asking me about puberty, periods, and pregnancy. The puberty stuff I tame, as he asked things like why girls' voices don't change that much, and he also asked about my body hair and body odour. The periods and pregnancy questions started out tame. For the periods questions like do they hurt and was I scared the first time, he asked about how uncomfortable a pregnancy is. The questions got more and more specific and invasive. One recent question about my pregnancy with him is if, with all that pushing, did I poop myself while giving birth to him? One recent period question is if the blood ever drained into my butt. The more he asks, the less I feel like I should be answering some of these questions. I'm glad he's not grossed out by periods and wants to learn more about the female body, but this feels like a little too much. Is he normal? Does he need counselling? And am I overreacting?
Well, I'm gonna just go out there and be like, some of those questions are
A bit
very, very odd.
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like it's coming from maybe a level of curiosity. Although the pregnancy poop one sounds like he's been told about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I
got
feel
all
like
day.
because there's a new in schools now. When you're in year one, from year one, you've got to learn about sex education.
Year one?
Year one.
That's a bit much in my opinion.
That means
Yeah.
Dominic's learning about sex ed.
I hope not.
Yeah, it's mandatory now in school. Do you know, like, in case people touch you in your parts?
Right.
So it's mandatory now from year one up to whenever that they've got to learn about
Well,
sex.
fine. Teach them what's appropriate and like in terms of your body is your body. You know, no one has a right to touch you. Like we tell Dominic, if you want to touch someone, you always ask. Even if it's on the arm, anything like that, you say, "Can I put my hand on you?" You know, if they say no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That level of teaching is fine, but talking about
No, they've got to talk about the body changing and everything from year one. Because I've had a similar conversation with one of my mates' kids where she was like talking about periods and like, how do you know about periods? And like, we're learning it in school, and she's in year 2.
I mean, that's too early. I mean, I understand the whole. All right, they're your private parts.
Yeah.
People aren't allowed to, you know, touch you, basically.
So I'm just thinking, if he's learnt stuff in school and he's going home now and asking his mum questions like, "Oh, we've learnt this in school," and then like some parents would be like, "Oh yeah, well when I had you, I pooped," and then that's got brought up in school in the classroom. So he's like, "Oh, did it happen with you? Did I?"
I mean, yeah, as I say, it could very much just be, you know, someone's mentioned that sometimes when a woman gives birth, they poop.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where that's coming from. I still feel like that's a little to be.
I don't think he needs to know whether you've pooped during pregnancy.
I don't think I'd go to my mum and ask her, did she poop while having me?
I've asked my mum, but that wasn't literally out. That was just because I've had a kid, and I was curious. Did you? You know?
Yeah, I see. I think for me,
But that's different.
I think the
I
biggest.
wasn't 10.
Yeah, I mean, the age is a big thing, and also the fact that it's from her son. You know,
If it's just her and him, and the dad's not around, then I kind of understand it a bit more. I think. But then again, saying that, like, George has never asked me anything like that ever. Like, he's never asked me any questions about anything. But then again, his dad's still around. We're not together, but he's still there. So he might go to his dad and ask. I don't know. But if the dad's not in the picture and the kid's got questions,
I think she should have a word with the school, find out
definitely
what's being taught. Because I don't think it's that bad to go get help, like therapy and stuff.
No,
truth be told, I think what she should do in this regard is just, you know, stick with it, so to speak. Just essentially explain the bits that you're willing to explain, and just if he does ask a question you're not happy to answer, be like, that's not the important part of periods and stuff like that, or pregnancy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't need to know if someone's pooped while giving birth. You don't need to know that. It's not important. So just say, well, what, you know, something along the lines of, well, you know, what did happen is obviously you were pushed out of me, and now you're here and alive and well, and it's been amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the beauty of the birth of life. You know.
So I don't think he's weird.
No, I think it's curiosity.
I think he is normal for being curious. Do you think so?
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think he needs counselling. I think that depends how he's found it out.
Yeah.
Would determine whether he needs counselling, I think. If he's heard it from school, then it's understandable for him to wonder why these things are these things. I think if he's found it on the internet, what is he doing looking at that kind of stuff on the internet?
I mean, there's only so much you can do to protect kids from that kind of stuff. More's being done, but it's still, if they really want to find stuff like that, they'll find a way.
I suppose.
Also, a positive way of it is, at least when he's older and he gets like a girlfriend, if he's getting a girlfriend or whatever, if she has a period, he's actually going to help.
Yeah, because
be helpful because he understands what we go through and stuff.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, I'd say it's good for him to be curious, but there's obviously curiosity to a point, and if he's asking questions you're not comfortable as a mother answering, then maybe send him to an aunt.
Yeah.
Like, go ask your aunt.
Literally. So no, I don't think she's overreacting, and I think for now, I think it's fine. Just depends where he got it from. I think would be the determining factor for me.
But I still think that the mother, if she's not comfortable answering them questions,
I don't think she has to answer it.
No, I think if anything, she should answer the scientific points of it and not delve too far into the curiosity points of it.
Yeah.
Because there are certain aspects that aren't necessary.
Yeah. Right, last one. You'll like this one.
Oh no.
Am I overreacting to my husband's reaction about me taking a pregnancy test? Yeah, you sit there and smile. For context, my husband, 30, and I, 33, lost a very early pregnancy in March. It really messed with my head, but I told my OB that I wanted to try again as soon as possible. I was told to wait after my first period or two. It's been a couple of months and we haven't used protection. My breasts feel tender, so I told my husband last night that I was going to take a test. His reaction was, "Why? You mean you're going to waste a pregnancy test?" I got really upset and told him that hurt my feelings. We are sexually active, so the possibility is there. He spent hours trying to apologise, but I'm still hurt. I would just like to know if I'm overreacting.
See, you would disagree that you would think she's being reasonable, but
Yes.
I'm also there like, well, it depends. Because I've said the same thing to you when you've gone. It's all right. Yes, we have been having sex without protection. There's a chance that you're pregnant.
Sorry, Mum.
But then,
Mums, sorry.
yeah, indeed. But then you've been worried about being pregnant, so you've decided, right, well, I'm going to go take a pregnancy test. And my argument is always, well, have you been due your period yet? And when you're there, like, well, no, that's not for another few days. I'm like, well, why not wait till then to find out? Because if you have a period in a few days, well, then you know you're not pregnant.
Well, you can still
to be
have
fair,
periods and get pregnant,
but then
can't
you
you?
can still take a pregnancy test and not get a result.
Yeah, true. You can get false negatives, can't you?
Yeah, false positives are extremely rare, but you can get false negatives. They're a lot more common.
And that's why I'm there like, so why not wait for your body to tell you?
Because we're
that there's
women
a
and we
chance.
cannot wait.
But then,
Because when you get that instinct of, shit, I'm pregnant,
Or
Okay,
I could be.
but then I accept
you
that
have to do it there and then.
You normally you normally buy a pack of 2.
Yeah.
And I completely get you taking that one, but then the following day you'll take another one, and I'm there like, why are you doing that?
Because the next day you're way stronger.
Yeah.
But then
In the
again,
morning.
I'm there like, why not just
Well,
wait?
I made sense of mine.
HCG does double. It doubles every 48 hours. So technically, if I'd have left it that day and then done it the next day, and then that one was negative, then all right, the chances are it's negative. But the thing is, a lot of women, I can't speak for all women, but a lot of women, there's that 2-week wait from the time of ovulation to the time of your next period.
Mm-hmm.
That 2-week wait for some women is painful because they want it so much. They're like with both of my kids, I've always found out early. I think I was
Lucky you.
4 or 5 days. I was 4 or 5 days early with both of them, and when I rang the doctors and I spoke to someone, they was like, "No, it's too early. You can't be." I was like, "But you can be because they make pregnancy tests now that can detect well in advance."
Yes.
I knew I was pregnant with Aurora before it came up on the test.
How?
Because I just knew my body.
But
Clearly
really?
not this time. But then I wanted a baby back then really badly, and I knew I was pregnant. I just kept saying, I'm pregnant, and Matt was like, how do you know? I'm like, I'm pregnant. I know I am. I feel it.
Yeah.
And then I did a test, it came back negative. And then a week later, I did another test, came back positive. I said, told you.
Yeah.
Told you.
I mean, I do understand that. As a guy, I don't think you'll never be able to understand because you're not in our brain. And it's like when you have a lot of the symptoms, like obviously I was feeling nauseous, I was having vivid dreams, exactly the same as the last time I was pregnant. So I was a bit like, maybe. So I'm like, I want to know because the way it can affect you quite badly.
But the way I see it is, every day's a maybe.
You know what else I think
Every
she should have
day's a
done?
maybe.
If I was that girl, right, I would have just thrown. I would have peed on the pregnancy test, waited for the result, and then thrown it at his head.
Yeah.
It's negative,
Have
but
some pee on your head.
or if it were positive, I'd be like, ha! This is why we do pregnancy tests.
Yeah.
But again, so this is what I discussed with you the other day. Obviously, it's sort of like I can understand wanting to do them if you didn't want a child and you needed that knowledge, but because we are in a position where we're there, like, if we have a child, we have a child. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot less like we need to know right away. What's the harm in waiting 2 weeks?
Does your body get excited? You just get pumped up with like adrenaline and you're like, I need to know.
But I'm one of them that I like.
The issue is once she knows, she starts to stress.
Yeah, because
which
then
is
it's
bad
like,
for the pregnancy.
then it's like, oh my god, I'm pregnant. What do I do? How do I do? What do I not want to do? But then that's just, you gotta just go
But
on
that's
it.
also bad for the pregnancy.
No, everyone gets that part. Everyone goes through that part. Not when you don't know you're pregnant.
This person is a prime example of somebody that goes through that part tenfold.
Yeah, I do. I'm
really
very
bad.
very sensitive to hormones, emotions, all of that nonsense. But I like to have a sense of control over my own body. So it's like I'm gonna find out before you're ready to fully tell me.
Yeah.
Like, I will know what's going on with my body. But then, obviously, I was even late on my period, like last month. So I was like, with the symptoms, I was late. Everything was there, and obviously it was still negative. So I was like, well, F you, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, what you doing? But I think because of the stress that I am putting myself under during those 2 weeks may have caused all of the issues that I'd been having. So I'm just like,
I say, like, I understand that. I've even said to you, I don't mind.
I don't think she's overreacting though.
I mean, I feel like he's doing his best to apologize for what he said. And I've had to do it with you where I came to you and I'm like, look, I'm sorry I've made you feel that way. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. But truthfully, to me, it isn't logical.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for you to take a pregnancy test one day and then the next day take another one and before you've even missed a period. I mean, they're like, for me, that doesn't make sense.
See, in our situation, it's fine because like, you can say that to me. I hear what you're saying. But number one, I ain't letting it bother me, what you say. Number two, I'm going to do it anyway. So I think if she did that, rather than sort of worry too much about what he's got to say, because he hasn't said, I don't think, that he didn't want it.
No.
He's just said, why are you doing a test?
Yeah.
It's probably, for a man, a normal reaction.
I think maybe it is for us because obviously men are often more logical.
Yeah.
We look at things in a more logical way and we're there like, well, you have a system built into your body that tells you, hey, you could be pregnant.
Hey, no, it doesn't.
Not every time.
Love that.
But
he didn't like that.
I mean, if you're wanting the baby and you have that plan in mind that you want the kid together, then I don't think you need that urgency of knowing.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're not planning on having a kid together, you might want to know sooner. Like as soon as possible, so you can plan how the hell you're going to tell the other person. For one, when you start, getting bigger, they're going to need to know. Obviously, if you start missing periods and stuff as well, they're going to be like, "Well, I'm sure you're meant to be having your period." And so on and so forth. So questions will then be asked. So in that regard, I feel like it'd be better for you to know.
Yeah.
But in our situation where we're okay with the idea of pregnancy and stuff like that, I don't feel like it's as important to take pregnancy tests, in my mind.
Yeah.
So early on, and they're like,
just leave us alone.
Even if you were a month pregnant, even if you were a month pregnant, by the time you found out, what harm has been done?
I like to know what's going on in my body. Thank you. And she is a prime example of why.
She did. She did all the tests.
Not till later on, right?
No, it was 2 days before I went to the doctors because I was throwing up blood and they said, can we take a pregnancy test? But what I realise is they do that because if they give you like anti-sicknesses that can affect your baby, they won't give them you.
Right.
I just thought they were just being like, oh, can you be pregnant?
Yeah.
No, it's actually got a reason.
But that test came back negative.
It came back negative. But that with cryptic pregnancies, that's what happens. You test the negatives, you've got no... Where are you going? You've got no bump. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Fair.
But I don't think she's overreacting, but I also don't think he's overreacting.
No, I think it is I think for a guy it is a normal response to like, why? Because they don't get it.
Yeah.
And I don't expect you to get it because you're not in our minds. Thank God.
Because it's so different and like it's like just a woman's thing and then kind of thing.
Yeah, because the way I look at it is we're not hurting anybody by doing it.
No. But then logically you're thinking, why did they have to do it so early? Why are they doing 2? Why are they doing that? Like, chill out a bit.
Yeah.
all right, granted, you can get some quite cheap ones, but if you want a decent one that actually
Yeah,
has
they
a
are
good
quite expensive.
has a good chance of telling you whether you are pregnant, they can get expensive when you're taking, multiple every other day.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
what I do is I buy the
Cheap
the
ones
cheap ones.
first.
If it's positive, I'm like, you're lying. Give me a clear
Yeah.
blue.
Mm.
If that's right, well, shit, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, that was what I
Yeah,
did.
literally. I think that's what we did. But I think as well, because we have experienced like a lot of loss as well, I feel more, I don't know, like clingy to the idea. Like I want to make sure that if I'm pregnant, it's right. Then I
Yeah.
test to make sure the line's getting darker because sorry, hang on, I do see a lot online where women, because they've had a lot of problems or they have PCOS or whatever the health condition is, they test continuously to give them that reassurance
That things are going smoothly.
Yeah.
When I had
See, I
Aurora,
guess-
they put me under watch because I had a miscarriage before. So they put me under watch where I'm constantly getting scanned, constantly got told that my baby weren't there and like stuff like that. So I was like highly. Where are you actually going? I was on like high watch. So luckily I did find out like I was pregnant straight away with the tests, even though I actually knew that time. And because I was like constantly getting watched and stuff, I felt better because I could go ring up a nurse and go, right, I feel this way. Is this normal?
Yeah.
I mean, you were on that recently because of obviously the miscarriage.
Yeah,
They-
they did an early scan on me, didn't they?
Yeah. But again, for me, I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit different in that regard because it's not my body. But as awful as it is, at that point, I'd probably rather not know because then you don't build that excitement. Because obviously, when we found out you were pregnant before, we got really excited. We started planning.
Because we booked an early scan, we paid privately for that to be told, oh, this doesn't look right. So then we got referred straight away, didn't we, to Burnley Hospital. They did a scan there and said that it was a suspected molar pregnancy. So they said, look, the only way is, we're going to have to, get rid of everything. And then they test it. And then it came back that it wasn't a molar pregnancy. It just wasn't meant to be.
Just in the Bible.
Yeah,
Which
so
I say,
that was rough.
Yeah, so at that point, that was really hard. But that was, I mean, truth be told, I suppose in that regard, there was a positive and a negative to knowing. The positive is we ended up finding out quite early
Yeah,
that it was wrong and there was bits wrong with it, and you needed to have obviously an operation to correct that and
yeah,
to stop you from getting infections and so on and so forth. Which, in that regard, I see the positives, but also I see the negatives, which were, we got so excited about finding out you were pregnant, and
yeah.
we really were looking forward to progressing forward and having a child together and so on and so forth. And then when that got crushed, it was more devastating, I think.
Yeah, and even though we went slightly off topic, I'm glad I brought it up today because today is actually the wave of light, for the baby, the baby loss and stuff like that. So I'm actually glad we talked about this today, even though by the time this is all edited and gone out, it'll be past that day. It's still something that someone goes through every day. So I think it's important we talk about
Weirdly
it.
enough, today last year is when I had that stillborn.
Is it?
Yeah, the 15th.
No way. That's absolutely insane. That I couldn't imagine. I mean, I know someone who went through that, and I was one of her only supports, and she was freaking devastated. Like, and it killed me. And I was like, I just can't comprehend. So I don't think that woman was being unreasonable. I think she was being very reasonable, and so was he. So I think they were both being reasonable.
So I think she was justified for being upset. The only thing I would say is
He
he is trying to say sorry and she's not allowing it. The only thing I would say is you're both adults. Sit down together, talk about it, explain what you're feeling from both aspects, and just make it better by going forwards with more knowledge of how each other handles things, and to just have a little bit of understanding for what the other person's going through.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely. So that's it for this week. Join us next week where we are doing a domestic abuse, as October is Domestic Abuse Awareness Month. And I will be joined by Rebecca, who is one of the managers working for the Wish Centre. So I'm going to get her reactions to some of your questions. So as always, if you've enjoyed today, please give us a like and follow. We are on YouTube, TikTok and Facebook, also Instagram, and get involved as well. Let us know what you think or send us in your stories. So from myself, Matt and Megan, thank you very much for watching.